Hello and welcome to this last episode from this live stream of the Steampunk mod pack. We have a Ko-Fi going for anybody who is interested in donating monthly to help keep this content going. There's a GoFundMe going for additional fundraisers that are interested in one-time donations because of my current life circumstances. And from there, we will keep things focused on what is going on screen. Other than, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Watch these videos. Let me know how it's going and what you like to see and what you like to hear. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without feedback from viewers like you. Now here I believe we're trying to get... It's not a furnace. I believe we're trying to get our automatic kelp farm going, yes. We're working on our automatic kelp farm. Trying to decide how belting is going to be going. We're working on how large it's going to be, how large of an area we want to clear. And eventually we're also going to want to work on getting something similar for ores, which we're going to have a crusher for, and we're going to be setting that up in a future live stream. Right now I'm trying to decide how many belts I need coming out of this and from where. And what speed I need it to be going, and where it's going to be going into the wall to actually feed the flames. And I spend a crazy amount of time trying to set up machines like this, and it's relatively simple. Just get the output going. I don't like it when it looks like it visually overlaps, so I get a little bit persnickety about that. But other than that, we've got the area cleared. We just need to actually get the cooking area set up, the smoking area set up, and that will actually be what automates our kelp farm. For the most part right now, I believe we have not automated our kelp farm. So this is just automated cooking we're trying to get going. And as you can tell by me trying to hook up everything literally everywhere, I don't know how I want to do it or at what speed. Because I can pull from any single one of those gears at any speed that I want. And there is a maximum speed, a maximum rate at which I can get the optimal cooking efficiency. And I do believe I get that within near perfection. Eventually, I will have blocks that let me just right-click on them and control the speed. Why are we standing here doing nothing? There we go. I must have been thinking. Sometimes I can slow your brain down a little bit. I might do the forbidden here and connect off of something. No, I used a gear to do it. Alright. Is that how we do it? No? Make up our minds. Come on. I believe. Using a gear to come off of it is perfectly fine if you want it to look pretty. Using gears to connect different shafts is perfectly fine if you want it to look pretty. I might be considering that I need to pull out more belts here than what I'm going to pull off for just right here. So it looks like I'm actually expanding upon the amount of pullable surface that I have. Yes. Okay. It looks like I expanded the gear shaft out intentionally here. Another spoiler for future in this episode, we are going to run out of power at some point. And we do, in fact, have one of our shorts coming up here, and I will pause when we get to that. Come on, I believe. I way overdo it with campfires. The initial build is way overbuilt. And some comical things happen, which we will get to see here in just a moment. As soon as we're done deciding what in the world we're doing here. I believe I decided I needed to press that up. But regardless of that, enjoy the fun content here. That torch actually in my way? Or was I imagining it? It startled the life out of me. Why? I've done this to myself. Oh no. with my accidental self-firing there done. I'm actually getting ready to set up plates here, which I had mentioned earlier we were going to end up working on. And it is a very exciting thing for me. I love getting to this point. And we have another short coming up here. If any of you have seen the looping plate short, here it comes. Num. Num. This was one of the most satisfying parts of the entire playthrough for me. And there's no way to exaggerate that. Once you get your first piece of automation set up, even if it's just plates, it's euphoric in a way that I can't explain. And honestly, the kelp cooking farm, which I'm messing up right here, it actually needed to be at the original height. I usually eventually swap to using netherite for this instead of campfires, but we start with campfires. Now, this pairs in comparison. The plates were just super entertaining for me. I had fun with it. I immediately interacted with that. It's nice to have the kelp farm working. It'll be even nicer when it's automated. But as of satisfaction, that first piece of automation when you get your plates made is just wonderful, especially when they're not hand cranked. Because you can throw a hand crank on there 100% and hand crank your plates out. But I've got everything automated, so we're set. Now this is where I'm talking about overdoing it, and or how to set up everything. I'm going to try to set up way too many campfires here. I just realized that they're too low, and this is the outcome of that. So you put it here, and it should get hot. Yep. No! Why was that how I wanted to test it? Let's not set myself on fire. I should have known just by looking at it. I will eventually learn that flammable things are dangerous. Touching campfires is dangerous. Standing in front of flames is dangerous. I immediately put up a wall to try to avoid that again. And I'm honestly not even sure if I did avoid it again. Because I have a habit of setting myself on fire and stepping in the campfires continuously. It's an actual problem, and I do it so often with my machinery that you'll see me seal off pieces of my machinery. I might do it here again, let's see. Maybe not. Maybe while I worked on it later, because I do have to rebuild some of it. Now, so often with my machinery you'll see me, like, cover it up needlessly, and that's just so I don't end up injuring myself or something else ends up injuring itself. Like goblin traders. That's gonna be a fun thing that we see later. I believe I decided to belt back and forth on this. Yeah, it looks like it. It does not need to be this large. I've over-engineered. It is perfectly okay to over-engineer. I don't remember a lot about Create. And this is me taking time to relearn Create with basic ideas of how the knowledge actually works. I've just realized I don't have enough power. I don't have enough torque, and I can make larger water wheels. So we're about to get larger water wheels made. Which is a big step forwards, because we need that for additional machinery. And we're going to need that additional torque. We just do not need it for our cooking. It is entirely unnecessary. And then I'm trying to decide how much room I need to make the water wheels look pretty when this is not going to be a permanent setup later. I'm going to eventually swap some of this around. If I want to beautify things, I can beautify it later. A hard part of the decision here was deciding if I wanted it connected directly to my actual torque that was already there. Whether I wanted to move my actual bars or just connect it up immediately to it. And I believe I decided on connecting it up immediately to it. Yes, alright. Now these should work just like the other water wheels. I don't believe I need underflow under these ones. I probably set up underflow under these ones. I set up the same amount of water wheels in the end. And underflow just makes sure that I have an optimal amount of torque coming out of it. Underflow is referring to water flowing over the top, down the front of it, and backwards under the bottom of it, which is pretty easy to set up. You saw me do it with the smaller water wheels. You'll see me do it again with these larger ones. And I get the same amount of them set up. It just takes a little while to set up just because the kelp form's in the way. But it flows straight down and under it, as you can see here, and that ensures that I have maximum torque coming out of it. I don't know how many blocks of water actually need to flow out of it to maximize the torque on them. I'm sure I could Google that, but I'm doing as much as possible without having to look up information. I want to learn how to make these machines. I want to be there in real time and experiencing this with you. And then what I learn, I will go back and I will hopefully make tutorials on later if it's needed, and talk about it later if it's needed. But so far, that fuels all of my machines, more than enough. I don't know how much torque I've added in my entire system. We'll find out later when I actually get engineer goggles. I was told that they weren't working for some reason, but we will see once I actually get up here and look around at different things. Here I'm trying to decide how many I need to actually get this going, and I believe I only ended up needing 2 campfires. At the speed at which the fans were going, 2 campfires seem to be plenty to actually cook the kelp up. And that means there should be plenty to cook up any of the foods. Of course, Goblin Trader shows up, immediately chases after you, chases you down, follows you around. Is a lost puppy, wants to get things from you. And not really gonna happen, but he is attempting to murder himself right now. Somehow managed to coax him off of it. And then I put up a wall to hopefully keep him off of it from the future. That's another problem with these machines, is that Goblin Traders are useful, and if you can keep them around as long as possible, they might end up being something that you need. So try to keep them from cooking themselves, try to keep them from crushing themselves, try to keep them from doing anything that is detrimental to their health, because they're useful. Whether it's trading resources to get additional resources, or like you saw, they have expanded enchantment options. If you have up to a certain level of enchantment, you can give them a book and then something with the basic level of enchantment on it, and they'll give you the next level of it that you normally cannot enchant yourself. We do have great enchanting on here, but that is going to be a long while yet before it's set up. Now let's see. I've got this encased. I want it to look pretty where you don't see most of the machinery in the back, where it effectively just looks like a magic machine, little smeltery that you just throw food in and it cooks. Eventually it will be entirely filled with kelp, and you can eat kelp as well, so infinite food supply right there. I will eventually prefer to have better food set up, but I believe I decided not to have a cap on this and to have it fully blocked in. I do go a little bit artistic with it, but not too over the top here. I've set myself on fire again. It happens quite a few times. See, I did not learn my lesson. Now, is the rest of this video going to be me trying to make this look pretty? Or are we going to get kelp cooking? Come on. Eventually, I do put a chest at the start and the end of this with funnels on them. It looks like we might be looking at making the funnels now. Come on. You can do it, me. Make the funnels. Double checking trays with the Goblin Trader, just to make sure I don't have the raw resources to trade with them. We are definitely looking to make funnels here. Just so that we can have an inlet chest and an outlet chest. I believe I end up shortening the actual length of the belt here. Yes, we're working on funnels. Alright, we've got our first 2 funnels made. That's what we needed. We needed a couple of plates for this to actually get everything set up and going nice and dandy. And once it's actually set up, we will need more funnels. We will need a farming machine. But as long as we have 1 chest on each side, a funnel going in, out of one, and a funnel going into the other one, and they're both on either side of that belt there. We have automated cooking, whether it be kelp or anything else. This goblin trader is just being adorable, dude. The entire time. Also, I didn't realize you could put funnels pointed directly down onto a belt like that. That was new to me. That's something that I usually use the droppers for. I can't remember what they're called. Chutes. I usually use chutes for those. And now we technically have this automated. We can just throw everything in a chest and it will come out the other end into another chest. Do I shorten this belt? I'm looking at presses that require magmas to heat up because I wanted brass. So, and we're not getting brass right now. We're not going to the nether right now. We're not equipped for it. We're going to work on some more machinery and some more automation in the next live stream before we actually go to the nether. We will get another portal set up. I believe one of us is actually going to work on another portal to get it set up. And that'll be one of our major achievements. We just don't know if we're going to cook to death. I'm currently looking at requirements for heating and cooling just because I'm interested in going to the nether. Gotta capture that blaze. I need that blaze heating, and we can feed them our cooked kelp to actually get that blaze heating, and that can also be automated. So we're gonna automate everything possible. Eventually, we won't use goblin traders for things that we mine for trading. Eventually, it'll all go through crushers and be automatically smelted, and we'll get experience cubes and all kinds of different things. And that'll be fed into auto-enchanting, and that's gonna be many live streams and many episodes later, and so much pain. You're gonna live through so much pain in this with me. And it's going to be entertaining for all of us. But right now, with what we're looking at here, I have it automated. It is nice and set up. I just need to set up a kelp farm, have it feed into this, and then we just have infinite kelp. And we're perfectly set on belts. We're perfectly set on food. We're set on automating machines. I have glue made for gluing my machines together. And this is the end of this episode. Remember to donate if you can on my Ko-Fi, and I will catch you in the next stream and the next episode to come.